Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to discuss the SBA. We're going to discuss the Inspector General's report. We're going to discuss why you've been receiving your denials. And we're going to discuss the amount of funding that is left over in this fund. So if this is the first time you're tuning into my channel, my name is Chawanne Burns. Click that like button and that subscribe button if you like to get more information about how to start and grow your business. And also, lately I've been doing a lot on cryptocurrency. So if you like crypto news, subscribe to my channel. Okay, so the economic injury disaster loan is I'm just going to go through a brief overview. I know we've been hearing this. There's tons of YouTube channels talk about the economic injury disaster loan. I just want to give a brief overview of why. If you don't need the brief overview, you can skip over this part. I got timestamps in it. So brief overview. Economic injury disaster loan is for those who were in business prior to the pandemic. That date is February the 1st. Okay, you have to be a small business. That means 500 employees or less. You can be a nonprofit. You could be a small business, independent contractor, LLC, sole proprietorship. All those businesses, you can apply for the economic injury disaster loan. And if you have, I believe farmers could apply for the economic injury disaster loan. They have, or agriculture businesses, they could also apply, okay? So if you're a regular business, your interest rate is 3.75% over a term of 30 years. If you are a nonprofit, the rate is 2.75% over 30-year period. You can receive a max amount of $2 million. This is based off of 24 months of your operating costs, okay? So skip that, I think it's skip.gov or hello skip, his website. I will link it in the description section. You can actually calculate, he has a calculator. You can actually calculate how much you would give or get from that, or you could just do a quick and dirty calculation. My cost of goods or my operating cost was $100,000 for 2 years. Times it by 2, that will be your max amount you will be able to receive from the SBA. Okay, so now that we got a brief overview, normally the SBA, reason why I'm saying you need to apply right away, normally the SBA loans is usually 8 to 9% prior to the pandemic. Right now, I think they're going for about 6 to 7%, maybe 8% at the most. You normally need a 670 credit score for the SBA. I think they decreased that amount. I think it's right now 640. But with the economic injury disaster loan, all you need is a 570 credit score for the max loan amount of $500,000. If your company can get more than $500,000, you need a 620 credit score. This opportunity or these types of funds is very inexpensive. So that's why I'm saying, hey, you need to apply. And they have tons of money left over in this fund. But it's ending December the 31st. December the 31st is the last time you could apply for the economic injury disaster loan, unless some miracle happens with Congress and they say, oh, we still got money in the fund. We'll extend the date out. But I sincerely doubt that, because the economy is going pretty well and they have some budgetary issues that they need to fix. Congress just raised the debt ceiling yesterday. They agreed to that. Well, Congress, it needs to pass the Senate. But they raised the debt ceiling and hopefully that will pass, So anyway, what I'm saying to you, this money or this opportunity is going to pass you by if you don't apply right now, okay? If you need help with applying, just DM me. When you DM me, be specific. I do help with reconsiderations. I took on a couple of clients. I help with reconsideration. I'll write a letter for you and all that good stuff and tell you what information we need to compile together and submit it. And we'll talk to, like your state representative and all that good stuff. So anyway, I do help with that information, but you need to be specific when you DM me. Don't say, I think they denied me because of this. No, don't think about it. It will say in the letter, in your denial letter, they denied you. SBA is denying you for such and such a reason, okay? So lately I've been getting people DM me, I need your help. Okay, what process are you in the application process? If you are in the reconsideration, what do you need my help for? If you're not in the reconsideration, and you got recently denied, okay, what do you need my help for? Or what do you need me to help you with? Be specific. And also, you really want, like, if you're in that denial process or in that denied phase, there's nothing wrong with reaching out to your state rep and your congressman that's in your area. I did it. That's how my loan got approved. That video that I got saying, let's get approved, it got like 100 and something thousand views. That's the steps that I took to get my application approved. I was denied. They wasn't responding to me. So I contacted everybody. I even contacted the committee of the Financial House Committee in there. It's in the video. I'll link it in the description section. But those are the steps that you need to take if you are in the reconsideration and you haven't heard anything back from them. Contact your state representative. How do you contact your state representative? Google it, U.S. state representative in whatever area. Okay? Every city has a district, and that's all you need to do. Okay? Like I said, I do help with that process. There is a fee with that process. You can DM me and we could talk about it further, or just go to my website and schedule a consultation. It's not free anymore. You need to make a $50 deposit. And if you decided to use my service, I deduct that from the service fee. Okay, so I kind of went off on a tangent about denial process, but I really want you guys to know that if you are in the denied phase and you're thinking about reconsideration, you need to first specifically find out what you were denied for. Okay, so reasons for denial: credit score, change of business, that's what I've been seeing, multiple applications, your business didn't sustain an economic injury, you did not provide some information in time. So those are some of the reasons that I've been getting. Your credit score has to be a 570. To check your credit score, you need to go to nav.com. They're using your Vantage 3.0 score. Now, your credit score, we already discussed, has to be 570 if you got a loan or you're getting a loan for $500,000 or less. It has to be 620 if it's greater, but they use Experian Vantage score. I didn't file my taxes is another one. You're filing your taxes. You must have filed your 2019 taxes because SBA will confirm whatever you put on your application. So if you said you made $100,000 in the year of 2019, they're going to ask you to fill out a 4506T form, and your numbers must match with the numbers in at the IRS.gov because they pull your tax transcript. Okay, so those numbers must match. Even your cost of goods sold must match. That's another thing I've been seeing. Hey, they denied me because they said my numbers didn't match. Okay, so what is it? You should have pulled your taxes before you filled out the application. Okay, so That's another reason. The third reason is, hey, I changed ownership. Did you actually sell your business? If you sold your business, then you don't have no rights to claim to get a loan in a business name that you no longer have the possession. Or are they denying you because you set up a LLC? Now you said, okay, let me operate as a business instead of operating as an independent contractor. There's ways to get around that, but you need to put certain verbiage in your reconsideration, and you need to DM me if you want to know more about that. Okay, so change a business if you actually change ownership, or you formed another type of corporation, but it is the same business. And there's paperwork you could prove with the IRS. The IRS will give you saying you change the type of structure it is. Okay, so DM me if you're facing that problem. Now, another problem, you have multiple applications. People, you felt like you filled out your application wrong. You're not supposed to fill out another one. I know I'm fussing at you like I'm your mom, but don't do that. All that does is slow your application down, and it sends a message to the SBA, hey, this might be a fraudulent activity on that EIN number. All you need to do is contact the SBA, ask to speak to modify your application because you put some information in wrong, and the representative can go in there and modify your application. Okay, people? So hopefully I covered most of the reasons why you are being denied. And as far as processing the application, they're getting overwhelmed. So I just received a letter from the SBA saying that they don't know how long it's going to take, but they're trying to process applications as fast as possible. Prior to this video, which was maybe mid-November, they were saying like 3 to 4 weeks on some applications, depending on what it is. If you had a greater amount, it might have taken up to 9 weeks for new applicants. Increases were at 4 weeks, but right now they're trying to speed up this process, but there's a monkey wrench, and we're about to talk about the monkey wrench. So we know that the Inspector General goes through and look at the approved loans. They do an audit, and that audit is to identify discrepancies in the monies that were dished out to business owners to make sure these applicants are legitimate. Okay, so there's a monkey wrench. They're saying that on this report, our Treasury analysis of process COVID-19 and emergency fund grants from March to November 2020 revealed that over $3.1 billion in COVID EIDL and COVID EIDL, meaning loans, and 550 million grants were distributed to potential ineligible applications. They have some other verbiage in here, but I want to get at, it says, to prevent potential improper payments, we must recommend SBA use a batch, match, or continuous monitoring functions available in the Treasury's Do Not Pay portal to identify potentially ineligible applicants before dispersing COVID EIDL program funds. Okay. It's a do not pay working system is a fraudulent, a centralized data and analytical service to help agencies verify eligibility and to identify and prevent fraud, waste, and abuse of federal funds. So you know how they say blacklist? Your name or your business might be on this blacklist depending on if you had or have fraudulent activities in regards to the government. Okay. And I would like to think, if you're, I always get audited, like my taxes, and I'll go back and forth. IRS will say, oh, you owe us some money. And then I'll be like, man, hey, if IRS says, say, oh, you owe us some money because they audit your taxes, you always want to go back and redo your taxes yourself, because you'll find out the IRS, they use some database and they'll say, oh, they potentially owe us. And they if you don't dispute it, they will take the money from you, but you always dispute it. But I'm saying this to say, I was talking to one of my girlfriends yesterday, and she said one of the guys that was doing taxes for will always put some astronomical amount of donations. So he was flagged. And you know who else got flagged? All the people that he did taxes for. So he might be on that do not pay list. He might be on the government's do not pay list. If he applies for some type of government funding, they might not ever give him any money. Okay, so that's where I was going with the taxes. So if you had previous fraudulent activity that was found through the government, and you might have got some criminal charges or whatever, you might be on this list. Okay, so, or that person is on this list. Okay, so they're saying they want them to use this do not pay list system before they dish out the funds. And I know, what's her name? Isabella Guzman responded saying, hey, they want them to do all the back applicants because they're trying to press criminal charges. But she came back and said, hey, it's impossible for us to do it now, like as we're in the moment. But they're going to get and process the other or prior applicants to see who is on this do not pay list. Okay, so what you could expect to see, your funds will take longer to distribute it to your bank account, because now they have to make sure you're not on that do not pay list. So the process now is, hey, I'm going to get approved. They'll process your application. If you're approved, potentially, you'll get a portal. The preliminary approvals, you'll get a portal invite inviting you to how much funds you want. You select that. Then they process, pull your credit to make sure. And then voila, they said, okay, you are approved. Then if there's little dots or statuses message at the top of your portal, it will say funding in progress or something. During that funding in progress or process, they're going to check your name to make sure that you are not on that do not fund list. So if you never receive your funds, either they're taking too long to process your application, or you may be potentially denied. SBA has not issued out another guidance towards this, but this is from the Inspector General. Okay, there's other stuff in here. I will link this document in the description section. So like I said, you guys, if you need help in the initial process, you can always DM me. If you need help in the reconsideration process, you can always DM me. And there's no guarantees, you guys. There's a guarantee. Well, I can't make any guarantees on what SBA is doing. I can only make guarantees on what I could do and what you're telling me. But I'm usually upfront and say, hey, I I don't think you have a chance. And then I would tell them, sometimes I tell people, hey, what's this going to hurt for you to apply? You know, but I do not recommend in putting any fraudulent stuff on there. Okay. So I am sending all my good to you. I will talk to you soon.